This prepossessing lot of young radicals, ranging from "I'm very satisfied with myself" to "what me worry," just elected a new rector to Glasgow University. I'll tell you all about him after I tell you that I'm Granniopteryx. First of all, I have to let you know why I didn't put up a new video yesterday. That wasn't because I was having root canal treatment, which I was, but it was surprisingly unpainful. It was just uncomfortable because you're laying back there in a chair with some great airy bloke's hands halfway down your throat. That's no fun. But there was no pain, and I, as you see, no swelling. I'm still my gorgeous self, and there you are. Right. No, it was because while I was away, there appears to have been some sort of a power outage. And when I got back, the computer was off, and now it won't run on the internet anymore. That's the big one. We think the router's been fried. And at the moment, this laptop is being run from my personal hotspot. Well, of course, I can't do this too often. So if I have, if there are some gaps over the next couple of days, you'll know why. And this video will necessarily be quite short, I suppose. Some people may approve of that. Okay, so that's the first thing I have to tell you. The second thing is, this is the sabbatical officers, whatever they are, elected by the students to lead the council, to represent your views to the university and make sure our student experience is the best possible. And our student experience, if you are a Glaswegian, or at least going to Glasgow University, will be to have as your representative a new rector. And that is Dr. Oh dear, it looks like we've got some trouble here again. Dr. Hassan Abu Sitta, who gave his first address as the newly elected rector of the University of Glasgow a little while ago. And I found out, my attention was drawn to this by Politico, by the way, and I found this on the internet. The New Arab, it says here. So let's see if this runs and see what happens. Okay, in the words of the immortal Bobby Sands. Some of you may not know who Bobby Sands is, so I'll tell you. Bobby Sands was a member of the Provisional Irish Republican Army, the IRA, and he died on hunger strike while imprisoned at HM Prison, Maze in Northern Ireland. He helped plan the 1976 Balmoral Furniture Company bombing in Dunmurry, which was followed by a gun battle with the Royal Ulster Constabulary, and he was arrested while trying to escape and sentenced to 14 years for firearms possession. Okay, and during that time, he made, a nuisance of himself, which that's not meant as a criticism. He had very strongly held beliefs. I think where he was wrong was in the, literally the execution of those beliefs. I think he was very wrong. But that's, some people might disagree with me. He went on hunger strike, and he kept on going on hunger strike until he died. Frankly, I think he must have had something wrong with him, psychiatrically speaking. But I should think if the British government had tried to treat his self-destructive psychosis, they'd have been accused of bringing in the psychiatrists like the Russians did, like the Soviet Union did. So, I suppose they were damned if they did and damned if they didn't. Anyway, that's Bobby Sands. Let's get back to Dr. AlAbua Sitta. Here we go. Right, and there he gives the semi-Nazi salute well, it started with the Black Power movement, and then it went on to just about anyone else who wants to prove their credentials. He then talks about a couple of colleagues of his, doctors in Gaza. I think they're both dead now, I'm not sure. But he implied that, he said one of them was dead. He implied the other one was. I don't know. But there were two of his colleagues. I'm quite sure you'll find Israelis who found plenty of people that they can talk about in the same way. So I'll leave that on one side. And that's what this student representative is talking about. He's talking about violent people like Bobby Sands who wish to get their political aims by blowing people and things up. And he talks about doctors who are doctors in a hospital that, housed Hamas. So there is a question that I don't recall Politico talking about, and that is, why is this man a doctor? I mean, he's a danger to anyone. He's a danger to any Jew who might need his medical attention, but he's also a danger to any British person, because he's quoting Bobby Sands here. How can you, who is an Irish nationalist, at the very least, a violent Irish nationalist, a person who's prepared to blow things up in the service of his political aims. And that's what this man is lauding here. He is a doctor. How can any British patient be sure that he's not going to, make an honest mistake somewhere along the line? I don't know why this man is allowed to practice. I did some reading about him. He said, I'd go back to Gaza in a flash. Well, then do it. Go back, look after your Gazan patients. Raise your fist there. It's not only a disgrace that this man is a doctor, a healer, lauding terrorists, but the British health services are prepared to accept him as a doctor. One doctor who praised Hamas was taken off the NHS list. Why isn't he off the NHS list? And of course, there are the student representatives in Glasgow who elected him. Some might say that those students are Nazis with Nazi sympathies and people who like other people who blow things up. Some would say that, of course. I wouldn't, because I'm on YouTube. All right, till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Grambo with a firearm, or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com, and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.